Mary sat on her new porch in San Diego, holding a cup of warm tea, while on her phone screen, her best friend Sarah's face smiled back at her. Sarah had stayed behind in Los Angeles, in the valley where the fires hadn't reached. They had these video calls every Sunday morning, sharing their different views of the California coast. "The sky is finally clear today," Sarah said, turning her phone to show Mary the familiar Los Angeles skyline. "They're starting to clean up in some neighborhoods. Your old street in Silver Lake, well, they say it might be ready for rebuilding by next year." Mary's heart squeezed at the news. "Remember how we used to walk our dogs there every Thursday?" she asked, her voice soft with memory. "Your Charlie always trying to chase my Luna up and down those hills," Sarah laughed, the sound bringing back a flood of memories. "Charlie still looks for Luna at the dog park, you know. That old boy hasn't forgotten his girlfriend." Both women grew quiet, remembering their morning walks through Griffith Park, where they had first met 5 years ago. Their dogs had tangled their leashes together, forcing the women to stop and talk. That accident had turned into coffee, which turned into weekly walks, and eventually, a friendship that even fire couldn't break. Mary closed her eyes and let the memories wash over her. The morning walks, where they would share their secrets and dreams. The coffee shop on Vermont Avenue, where Joe, the owner, would see them coming and have their orders ready: a vanilla latte with an extra shot for Mary, and a chai tea for Sarah. "Is Joe's shop still open?" Mary asked. "Still standing," Sarah confirmed. "He asks about you every time I go in. He's been helping organize supplies for families who want to come back and rebuild." Mary smiled, thinking about her family's weekend traditions. Her kids, Tommy and Emma, used to love going to the Santa Monica Pier, where they'd often meet Sarah and her daughter Lily. The four children would race up and down the boardwalk while Mary and Sarah watched from a bench, sharing a bag of kettle corn and talking about everything and nothing. "Lily asked about Tommy and Emma yesterday," Sarah said, as if reading Mary's thoughts. "She misses her peer buddies. They miss her too," Mary replied, watching as her children played in their new backyard through the kitchen window. "Tommy still talks about the time Lily helped him win that giant stuffed penguin at the ring toss." The memories of their Sunday family dinners in Koreatown made both women nostalgic. Their families would crowd around a table at their favorite Korean barbecue restaurant, where Sarah's husband David, who grew up in the neighborhood, would teach them the best way to grill each type of meat. The waitresses would dote on all the kids, bringing extra side dishes, and teaching them Korean words. Mary remembered the last normal day before the fires. She and Sarah had taken the kids to Echo Park Lake, where they'd rented 2 paddle boats. It was where Mary had met her husband Tom 15 years ago. And where Sarah had photographed Mary's family every year for their holiday cards. That day, the sky had been perfectly blue, with no hint of the disaster to come, but then came that hot, dry summer. The news kept warning about the historic drought, and Sarah's daily updates became increasingly worried. When the fire started, it moved so fast that Mary's family had just hours to pack their most important things and leave. Sarah had come over to help, both women crying as they rushed to save photo albums and important documents. "I still have that box of photos you couldn't fit in your car," Sarah said now, wiping a tear. I've been scanning them, saving them to the cloud. Just in case, the evacuation was chaos. Mary remembered looking back as they drove away on the crowded freeway, watching Sarah standing in her driveway, waving goodbye with one hand and holding Charlie's leash with the other. The sky was orange and gray with smoke, and ash was falling like sad, gray snow. The first few weeks in San Diego were hard. If it hadn't been for Sarah's daily calls and constant support, Mary wasn't sure how she would have managed. While Tom looked for a new job and the kids adjusted to their new schools, Sarah became their connection to home, sending pictures of their old neighborhood and keeping them updated on the recovery efforts. Now, 6 months later, Mary was making a new life in San Diego. The local community had been welcoming, and Sarah had even driven down several times with her family, bringing pieces of home with each visit: a bag of coffee from Joe's shop, Tommy's favorite Korean snacks, pressed flowers from Echo Park Lake. "Look what I found yesterday," Sarah said, holding up an old photograph. It showed Mary and Sarah at the Gross Farmers Market, their children small enough to ride in strollers, both women laughing at something now forgotten. "Remember this day?" "How could I forget?" Mary smiled. "That was the day we decided to become business partners." Their small photography business had been just taking off when the fire hit. Sarah was keeping it going, documenting the city's recovery through her lens. A seagull landed on Mary's porch railing, and Sarah laughed at the coincidence. She had one on her balcony too, the same coast, different cities. "The city misses you, Mary," Sarah said softly. "But it's waiting for you." "We all are." Mary wiped a tear from her cheek. "You know what, Sarah? Los Angeles will come back. Different maybe, but still beautiful. And one day, we'll all be back too. Because that's what we do in California: we rebuild, we regrow, we start again." Together, the seagulls flew away from both porches, and the women smiled at each other through their screens. The morning fog was lifting in both cities, showing the same bright blue California sky. It was going to be a beautiful day, and somewhere between San Diego and Los Angeles, hope was growing stronger with each passing moment. "Same time next Sunday?" Sarah asked. "Same time," Mary replied. "Give Charlie a kiss for Luna." As Mary ended the call, she felt lighter. San Diego was becoming home, but Los Angeles, with its memories, its people, and friends like Sarah, would always be in her heart, waiting for her return.